Hey everybody, it's DK and welcome back to the Burn Bootcamp podcast. I have a huge, exciting announcement for you today. Listen, I'm so pumped for you to be one of the first to hear that pre-sales are live now on Morgan and I's brand new co-authored book called Burn, the Burn Bootcamp 5-Step Strategy to Inner and Outer Strength. We've been working on this for 2.5 years to put this project together to really bring you the 5 strategies that make Burn Bootcamp. We wanted to put it on paper as a manifesto for you, for your family, to be able to go deeper than just the gym. And it's burn, connect, nourish, focus, and achieve. These 5 things are the layout of the book, but we talk about underneath that hood, the body. We talk about the mind. We talk about emotion, spirit, relationships. We talk about your time. We talk about your work. We talk about your money. Those 8 areas of life really shape the book through the lens of the classic Burn Bootcamp 5-pillar strategy. So we could not be more excited. This features, by the way, 12 exclusive workouts. Okay, we've never published these workouts anywhere else but this book. And then also 50 recipes that you can make in 10 minutes or less just to give you, okay, a little bit of head start on the fitness and nutrition stuff. But what I really love about this book is it goes way beyond that. It goes beyond that to talk about the stories of the members at Burn Bootcamp who are actually going through life. These are real stories from real people who have agreed to share their stories in our book. And we're so thankful for them doing so because it really brings the book to life. I cannot wait for you to read this book. And in spirit of announcing this today, because pre-orders are live right now and you can pre-order your book, I'm also doing something else for you guys, all right? You know, if you've been here for a while, since 2018, all right, in August, I released Stop Starting Over. This was my self-authored, self-published debut book, which did very, very well. And I want to thank all of you for supporting the book. We did 20,000 plus copies, which is why we're able to sign with one of the big 5 publishers, the biggest publishing companies in the world, to produce Burn, our new book. And I wanted to give this away to you for free right now, the PDF version. Now, if you want the hard copy version, you can still go get the hard copy version on Amazon. But if you click the link in the description, it's going to take you right to a landing page. You can download the full PDF of this. And I wanted you to use this as a prerequisite to get ready for the Burn Bootcamp 5-Step Strategy for Inner and Outer Fitness. All right. So this is live right now. In today's episode, I'm going to go deep into an actual chapter in this book. And this is a chapter that, as I travel across Burn Nation and meet with our different members, meet with our franchise partners, our team members, that they use the most in the gym. We call it the magic of momentum, or the momentum cycle. And I'm going to break that down for you today because I wanted to just really focus on tapping into the magic of momentum. That's the title of this podcast, Tapping into the Magic of Momentum. So with that being said, let's dive right into today's content coming directly from Stop Starting Over. And this is on page 231, chapter 13, called The Magic of Momentum. And it works like this: potential reinforces action, which reinforces results, which reinforces your belief. Check out that cycle. This is the magic of momentum. This can either work for you or it can work against you. And I'm going to share with you a story about a member of mine that I wrote in the book. Her name is Brandy Parker. Hi, Brandy. Your story lives on. So many people are inspired by everything that you've allowed us to share in this book. Brandy is a real human being, by the way, a dear friend of mine, and her story is incredible. And so, listen, potential, the top of that cycle. Potential is like, you got an idea, right? You got an idea and you're going to go take an action. All right. When you go take the action, then the action is reinforced by whether you got results or not, which is then either going to increase or decrease your amount of belief that you had in that potential. All right. So Brandy, the first time I ever met her, she walks into my gym back in the parking lot / gymnastics studio days. And she was tipping the scale maybe almost at 400 pounds at the time. And I could see her peek around the corner and look in, and I caught her out of the corner of my eye, and I look over and she pops her head right back behind the wall as if I couldn't see her. But I saw her, I caught her, and I kept my camp going with an exercise, and I ran over and I got Brandy and I said, Brandy, I know you don't think you belong here, but you belong here. And that's what Brandy needed to give her belief. Okay, she needed some belief in herself. So I had to be that initial encouragement. And since I believed in her, the potential that she had in her mind, in her heart went up because, hey, somebody believed in me. Okay, well, if somebody believes in me, maybe that means I can believe in myself a little bit more than I did yesterday. Well, if I believe in myself and that reinforces the potential I believe I have, well, then taking action might work. If I go and I actually listen to this crazy guy who, I was intimidating her with all this crazy energy coming at her. This is just how I am all the time. And Brandy is intimidated probably because she has a slight level of shame or embarrassment for being in the super obese category. She doesn't feel like she belongs at the gym. I gave her the potential. Okay, she needed that from me. It reinforced her ability to go take action. She took action. She came to camp. She chopped up and down on that ledge at our camp, our famous floating floor, for about 45 minutes straight because that's all she was able to do at the time. Listen, she got to the end of that first workout, just doing sets of like 20 up and down on the ledge, and she felt good. She was smiling. I wasn't trying to crush her. I wasn't trying to put her in the ground. I wasn't trying to reinforce the lack of belief that she had. I wanted to reinforce the potential that I gave her, and I wanted to build on that. Thus the magic of the momentum and stacking all these habits, right? I'm going to make sure Brandy knew at the end of camp that day, hey, listen, you just did one of the hardest things known to mankind, 45 minutes with Devan. Like you just did that. You just went through that. Now it looked different for you than it did for the, Ozzy is, shout out to Ozzy. She's working out right next to you and she's an ex-college volleyball player at UNCC and she's jumping through the roof and you're stepping up on the ledge. But you know what? You did it. You did it. And that's what matters. And that result, her finishing that camp was the result. It was evidence to then reinforce the belief, the seed that we planted. Okay. And then, hey, maybe if I keep taking action and I keep showing up, I can keep these positive feelings going. Reinforcing the potential that she had in herself, comes to another camp, does something she's never done before in that camp, reinforces the belief, and you can see how the cycle of momentum goes over and over and over and over and over. Now, here's where it goes wrong, people. If I showed up and I said, Brandy, success for you today is to do 100 burpees. Brandy's not doing one burpee that day, and she knew that. So if I'm going to give her encouragement that is outside her scope of her own belief, of her own potential, then now I'd become a detrimental encourager to her, giving her maybe some false confidence that she doesn't believe in, to saying, hey, look at this tiny little insignificant thing, just stepping up on this ledge and stepping down. Like you got out of your car, right? Like you walked, you can go up your steps right at home. Like you need your rail, but you can go up your steps, right? Like totally, you can do this, right? Like totally, you got this one small insignificant little thing we're going to do today. But then at the end of camp, I blew it up and I made it so significant that she smiled and she was happy and she fed into this cycle and kept going and kept going and kept going and kept going. 200 plus pounds later, Brandy and I go from stepping up on a ledge to I literally ran one of the hardest half marathons in the state of North Carolina, a trail run half marathon down a riverbed called the River Run, up mountains, around rocks, like getting smacked in the face with bushes, trees, like a hard run where like professional marathon runners come to train. And Brandy and I did it. It took us 3.5 hours to do it. We did it together. And that belief and that potential that she had in herself at that time, when she crossed that finish line and we shared a hug and we held it for like 30 seconds, but it really seemed like 3-4 minutes where we held this hug, all of the emotion, all of the passion, all of the belief, all the potential, all of those small, seemingly insignificant actions that we took along that journey. When her story ended up being chopping the line to running one of the most rugged half marathons through the forest and through the mountains that you could possibly do. And so this can work for anybody, no matter what circumstance that you're in, as long as you don't try to swallow the whale whole and you bite off one chunk at a time. At Burn Bootcamp in our focus meetings, we call it one small win. That's where the magic of momentum lies. That one camp, that one ledge that you chop, and then repeatedly, consistently doing that every day and visualizing yourself getting faster and faster, building more momentum and more momentum to the point where it's like a snowball rolling down the hill. There's no stopping your success, because that little seed that we planted on that initial camp, when she took her head and she pulled it back behind that wall as if I wasn't going to see her, right? That is a metaphor for all the doubt that she had in herself at that one time. And I planted that one tiny seed that said, you belong here. And then we chopped a ledge. That took her to doing something that she never thought she was going to do before. Do an amazing run that even able-bodied people won't do. In between, she pushed cars. I made her flip tires. I mean, we did so many things that she never thought she was going to do. And she was not only changed physically, like transformed physically, but here is the punchline. Those other 7 areas outside of your body that we talk about consistently. The second area that I saw Brandy transform in, that not everybody got to see because I was so close with her, was her emotional strength. I got to see Brandy become an emotionally strong person. I got to see her build her confidence at a higher rate than she was actually building her physical strength. And if you knew Brandy at 400-pound Brandy coming into the gymnastics center versus half marathon Brandy, 200 pounds lighter, what you would notice first is her exuberance, her confidence, her just glowing with energy and radiating and now helping other people go on the journey. And she's always going to be on her journey. She's never going to stop being on her journey. She's still on it today. And so, Brandy, we love you. Thank you for allowing us to share the story that you have in your life of the magic of momentum. And she hit just a 4-year, 5-year momentum cycle that completely transformed her life. And you can do it too. And so you can go read about this in chapter 13, Magic of Momentum. Read Brandy's whole story. There's much more there. It is absolutely free for you. We're going to give it to you. We're going to give it away because I want to get you in the mode of reading, because the Burn Bootcamp 5-step strategy to inner and outer strength, that drops, okay? And the pre-sales are live now, and I want you to have the predecessor or the precessor to that book in your mind so that we can build on it. It's not necessary, but it's also nice. So I hope that you enjoy the giveaway. Please go get it. Share it with all of your friends. Let them know DK is giving away the Stop Starting Over PDF. And if you ever still want me to sign a copy, buy one. I'll meet you somewhere out there at an event, at a keynote, at a talk, out in the field, at a location, and I'd be happy to. But it's here, y'all. Okay, it's here. The pre-order is here right now. Burn, the 5-step strategy to inner and outer strength. Thank you guys for your support. Morgan and I love you. Thank you for being here. And until next time, 2 claps on 2. 1, 2.